Yalla. Brrr, what happened to that boy? People talking shit. We put a clap into that boy, infidel, and we're about to put a clap on it here. It's the Monday locker room kicking off your week with all the hot headlines, weekend recap, and maybe a special run or two. It's the promoter of the Midwest himself, RBV, back with Hacker Hamin, ready to set it off. Yalla. Yeah, man. We're back again after a weekend on the road. It would have been even more hardcore. I was wiped out yesterday after one show. My other Carney show got canceled. I missed a payday, so that always stings. But, better than traveling and then having to deal with some bullshit where I got to try and break somebody's legs in the parking lot. So we're back at it, man. Hamin Media Group doing big things all week long with the launch of the Realm Network premiums, you guys. So you can sign up right now for free. We're going to be pushing it all month long, all year long, actually. Let everybody know, be our advocates as well as our engagers and supporters. You guys are so loyal. I know the new Aubrey Huff podcast is going to be phenomenal. We got Val Venus, obviously, if you're a Howard Stern fan, Reverend Bob Levy and Shuley, 3 huge shows to kick things off, working with Drake Wirtz and Rad Rob right now, working on Conspiracy Horseman stuff, and more and more shows every week are just going to be added. So they wanted to push us out of the freedom. They want it, but at the end of the day, now they can't censor us for anything. So, and they're not going to do it here at the Monday Locker Room either, RBV. Good to see you this morning, pal.
Good to be back here, Ben. We were kind of talking, man. One of those just terrible feelings in the middle of the summer is when you pick up a head cold.
Yeah.
You go from them days where you're rocking 90 degrees and then boom, at night you're dipping below 60, and it just starts to mess with you. But hey, Realm Network, no looking back now, huh?
No, man.
It is full steam ahead. Hey, how cool is it too? You're mentioning all those great shows, all those big names joining the platform. But Mr. Russo, pitched out there. Hey, if you've got an idea, if you got a show concept, hey, you guys are open and listening. So hey, if you want to take it.
We got 30 spots to develop shows in. I mean, we obviously want something that's going to draw and make money. And so it's not just people. I can be on Realm because I like to hear my own voice. If you've got a serious concept, by all means, reach out, man. If you've got the hookups with a guest who's going to be able to co-host and draw an outside niche audience, that's what we're looking for right now. And there's a lot of great things being developed as well. So there's no reason, if you think now's your time or you've been working on something, you want to take it to the next level, then you can go a next level review with the vet and Big Ray if you want. But no, obviously we're easy to find. And if you got a show pitch or even an idea that doesn't include you and you think something that's out there missing, we're all ears, open to all suggestions.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool because it's heck, 1 month away. It'd be 6 years ago since I got off the sideline and got into the game here with the opportunities with the Hamin Media Group. And I can tell you, people out there, if you got a passion, you've got some thoughts that you want to get out there, it's a perfect opportunity.
And look at how you leveled up. I'm not trying to say you weren't shit before by any means, but now in your local community, you're the foodie review guy who supports all local eating establishments and is tapped into that Food Network crowd. You've really ruined your life and become a wrestling promoter, you know what I mean, putting on shows and providing more entertainment for something that you love. Like they say, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, right? And it seems like in those 6 years, as well as the racetrack, a great job.
I was going to say, I worked taking my career from my marketing efforts to be able to use my voice now as a public address announcer and an avenue I never imagined in my life that I'd be calling racing. But here I am, 2 years in.
Yeah, and where that could lead you, I mean, you've got a great voice, obviously, announcer voice, and you're using your, I don't want to say weapon, your instrument to really fine tune it and play some great things and helping everybody else out. It's when you put others in that community first, you just see yourself take off, and I'm proud of you. Really am, in the work and work ethic that you've shown in those last 6 years to go from, I don't want to call you a fanboy by any means, but to take it to.
Well, I mean, that's what you go from.
Yeah.
It really is. It seems that each step that you grow into this process, as much as you thought, you didn't know shit.
That's
And I still remember, right immediately following that first show I promoted, I sent you a message, and I was actually sitting there with Ted, and I said the same thing to him as I was sending you the message. Everything I thought I knew, I didn't know shit. And it was a completely different world, a completely different beast. No pun intended, but
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's a tremendous learning experience and growth, and that could be anybody out there.
I'll
You
tell you,
got that passion.
I'm super proud of you, and I'll say that 100 times over. But somebody else who I'm very, very proud of, who has gone along those same, parameters and was with us since WrestleZone, and unfortunately, is going to be taking some time off, maybe full time off. But MSG looks like he's going to be hanging him up for a while with Hamin Media Group, and I can't thank him enough and say how proud I am of him. Coming from being a professional musician in the West Side, and then a wrestling fan, and throughout that in his interaction back even in the chat room of WrestleZone live days, and asking questions, and me telling him, bro, you got to go back to school. That's what you want to do. What's he do? Signs up, goes through, gets his degree. From there, packs up and moves to Colorado to take a top position, work in production with, he controls Dallas.
Master controlman for a huge region.
A master musician as well, great collector, and obviously an awesome co-host here and producer of the year at Hamin Media Group. It's going to be huge shoes to fill, but at the same time, he's ready to, step back into the spotlight for himself and chase what he wants to. And as a young man with the world ahead of him, I'm never going to stand in anybody's way. I thank him, constantly for the work he's done to help build this thing. To be the buffer between a lot of people and me, while I just don't have time to deal with every little thing, to dealing with a great talent handler with Stevie Ray and handling all of his Patreon and everything. And, it's just going to be a huge amount of work to fill, because he's such a dedicated soldier, man. But all my respect to MSG and all my thanks, man. And I can't highlight him enough and wish him any more luck. I know he's going to kill it, because that's all he's done. He's got the work ethic. He knows how to jump in the trenches and dig and do what it takes to get to that next, front line that he's moving towards. And we'll be here to support him in whatever he needs help with, as always. So, when it comes to the production staff, and it's not just you two, everybody's doing that kind of stuff too, man. But you guys have really taken it and seen what opportunities and what community that we've built, and helped to build that community, and social media management, a huge part of what both of you guys do to help HMG, to just get the word out there and turn our listeners into our advocates and interact with community members, man. Couldn't be more. I'm almost more proud of that than anything else. And that's where really my talent is its most strong. It's not on the mic. It's taking other talents and saying, yes, you can, and here's how you do it. And yeah, is it going to suck to do that? Or is it going to be an adventure, how you look at it, to level yourself up in your skill set? You can. And that's what chop wood, carry water mentality is all about. And you guys have embraced it and become better men for it. And I'm proud of both of you.
The curse continues. The show of the year canceled. Personality of the year, McNailer moves on. Producer of the year.
Yeah,
he's leveling up.
Right. And it happens, man. I mean, the way I look at it is OVW was kicking ass before I got there. I got there and helped change things and kind of left my mark that would change the way the directors there would do things for the next 15 years, But it doesn't mean OVW stopped after Ben Hamin left after 3 years. And it's the same thing here. I'm not going to no, you can't go. I don't want anybody to go. But the train keeps moving down the tracks, man. And if they buy another ticket, the door is always open for whenever Beast or, MSG or anybody in the past that wants to come back and just visit or come back full time. Jargo took time off, and now he's, back in the fold too, which I'm going to need to rely on his brilliant production skills as well to help fill that void.
Absolutely. Beast himself back in the wrestling game down there in the Louisville area.
Oh yeah.
They officially announced with Dream that they're going to be coming in September. I know that's going to be a top-notch, hell of a promotion down there, and probably emerge as one of the absolute finest here in the region. just with the resources, the minds, the talents that they're going to have involved with that thing. And I'm sure that Ben Hamin will make an appearance down there at some point.
I imagine so, but when it's him and Shiloh, there's nobody else I would trust more as far as having done all the worked with the biggest stars, knowing everything that's going on. You're not gonna get over on those two because they are 15, 16-year veteran workers, man. And sometimes and I've seen this a lot lately, if you're not invited to have a seat at the table, you make your own table. And that's exactly what you did and what they're doing. And it's a lot harder row to hoe, but at the end of the day, you don't have to answer to anybody except yourself. And if you're betting on yourself, and that investment, when it pays off, is more satisfying and gratifying than any envelope from somebody else. You know what I mean? So I know they're going to do great things, and I know the shows are going to be next level compared to what else you might see on the indies, because those guys have all of the knowledge of the masters for sure. So I can't see shine.
Top to bottom, they've got an incredible roster coming up, but those are some names to look out for right there. You mentioned Shiloh, the Outrunners; those guys got it, man. They're knocking on the door. They're going to be big here in the next year or so, and they're starting here in this region. I'm glad they're going to be joining us on the 26th in Vivi for the Super Show.
I look forward to seeing him, man. I mean, I was there for Shiloh's first day at OVW, and to watch him go from where he's gone as a hungry, very quiet guy, learning from Dinsmore, learning from Mercury, learning from Rip, learning from Al. I mean, the guy has an incredible knowledge base. And then even what he did with, what is it, Mike Eagle? Is that the name of the rapper that he worked with? To like kind of start an online feud and turn that into the niche market of hip hop. Be like, look what this guy's doing, man. Like Shiloh knows how to get himself over, and he knows how to work every style. And Outrunners is just a really interesting, funny, comedic yet serious. It could be as serious as you want it or as comedic as you want it, and they can deliver on both ends, man. But it's going to be a great time for them. I can't wait to see how well they do.
Well, we're talking about these shows. As you said, you had a big show this weekend. Do we have good news for GGP and still?
Oh yeah, man!
World champion.
The Alpha and Omega Tour rolls on. There's no doubt about it. 3 championships. Ronan, I forget where this other one was. Immortal and forgive me. But 3 awesome belts, and took on Rhett Titus in the main event. I might have had a little hand in helping make sure he retains his titles, but GGP heels over strong, no doubt. Big main event. And my man Blaze Haram bringing back the Middle Eastern Championship to the House of Hamin. So Rick Recon, thought he was the big AEW Dark Star. Blaze Haram's a star. GGP's the AEW star, not Rhett Titus with his little FCW. That doesn't impress me, Infidel. So, we put the beating on him, and it was a good house, and 2 $5 face slaps for the internet online there, man. And I was it was about 70 weeks of pent up frustration because I smashed the shit out of both of their faces, man. But yeah, it was a really good time at Immortal Championship Wrestling in Rome. I got to agent pretty much every match, thankfully. And I also got to strip down the card to be like, we're not doing more than 7 or 8 matches, because I've been on too many goddamn indie shows with promoters doing buddy favors for shitty workers who want to go out and do all the bullshit. Hey, you've got a pre-show match. Oh, that's cool. Then I'll do my 450, my dive, and then it'll look like crap, and then we'll ruin the show. Not when Hamin's running it. Not when that shit's around. That shit's done. So, because I've been in too many main events where it's like, and the 4th hour of this show is your main event, and then the crowd's half there. They're dead. They've seen everything. And that's indie promoters who don't know fuck all. They think they're McMahon, they think they're Tony Khan or whatever the fuck, and they're booking like them shitty. And they ruin their own show, and they don't leave their audience wanting more. They wear them out, and that's not what we're going to do with Immortal, man. Not at all. But then I will give the stooge on New Breed, which is, I don't even know the guy who's the promoter, but we saw Deanna Prazo warned the boys last week saying this guy's
okay.
Yeah, this guy's shady, and my worker brothers and sisters, I wouldn't deal with him, which to me means he didn't pay her deposit and was trying to good brother, like, oh, I've got it, I'll be here. And then she's like, no, fuck you. So the word spreads instantly through the chats of like, hey, bro, I don't know if there's going to be a show. He's already trying to fuck over Deanna. He way overbooked himself. He had Carlito, Chris Masters, Deanna, Kylie Ray, like 2 or 3 other like top properties. One of those is what you should book. One to face, maybe 2 to face your undercard to raise them up. But if you want to do an autograph signing show where you're going to make your money on that, then you have to book it like that, but you better have the money up front in order. That's 20 grand that you better have to pay up front, bro. You know what I mean? Like, otherwise you're fucked. And this is the second or third time where he's rebranded and done this thing and had to cancel shows. He said he had 300 pre-sale tickets sold. So now everybody gets to go to PayPal and ask for a refund. He looks like a retard. And then what happens? We get complete silence with the message at 5 o'clock. I'm going to make the announcement of what's going on with the show on Sunday. 5 o'clock comes and goes, 6:15, 6:30 out it comes of, there's some people in the North Country who don't want us to run other promoters, and they contacted NYSAC, New York State Athletic Commission, and now we can't run. Well, this guy was running on somebody else's promoter's license, so that, first of all, shows that he's not a serious cat when it comes to this type of shit. B, he wants to run these grandiose mini WWE shows where he has no fucking idea. He booked the building and whatnot, and then he's going to fuck over the boys out of a payday when they could have been someplace else or made plans, and now everyone's got a bad taste in their mouth. But the part about that it was NYSAC and fucking some local shindies trying to fuck with him, which I wouldn't doubt that that's not out of the realm of possibility. But Deanna Purrazzo ain't contacting NYSAC and shit. This is
out of her way for that shit.
Right. This is another shitbag promoter wanting to fucking act like he's over as fuck and then gets caught with his nuts in his zipper again. And then when he does, he wants to come back down, blame it on somebody else and lie to the boys. You're fucking buried, bro. And then to triple down on that, he goes, I think we're going to reschedule the show for October 1st. Oh, you're going to run against 2CW's reunion show with the fucking Young Bucks, Eddie Edwards, Sammy Callahan, fucking probably Omega. Like, okay, you're a brilliant motherfucker, dude. Yeah, everybody thinks that you're really killing it right now. So, that's just how it is in this shitbag carny business of like, all right, I got a booking for a nice chunk of change. I could actually almost pay my mortgage this month on what I might make. And then all that comes crashing down because people get exposed for not doing it like you're doing it, not doing it like Man Beast is doing it. They just don't know. They want to play at this shit, but they're not the real deal when it comes to it.
Let me ask you, it's actually perfect that you laid it out there because I was going to bring this up this morning is kind of that little bit of news or knowledge that I usually get from you to drop for free here for everybody. But what is the appropriate window for cancellation? I got a little bit of a backstory on this. I'm working with another group out of mid-Ohio. I'm coming to just help with the live event experience and getting some sponsorship for them. And he asked me a couple things about the card. He said, do you see any problems here? And at first I was like, dude, every match is a multi-man cluster. You've got 10 matches on this thing. How are you going to get in and out with all these people in 2.5 hours? I said, you got to strip this thing down. I said, what's your budget? I said, you're killing yourself. I mean, we got to bend over backwards to get these sponsors because you're living way outside the means of where we're at. I said, strip this thing down. I said, if you got to break some people's hearts. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm looking at it, and even me, I wouldn't use half these damn people.
Yeah.
And so he's making some cancellations, and he had a little bit of backlash where they're demanding half their pay, and it's still 5 weeks out. I thought that was inappropriate. I mean, they can go.
Are you talking top level people are demanding half their pay?
Well, not top level people. These are not national names. I mean, they travel well on the indie circuit, but we're not talking about someone you're going to see anywhere on Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor. Nowhere near that. No. Then they know he's a mark and they're trying to do whatever. And shout out to the boys being carny themselves. But if you're not at that level, you're fucked because someone who's a made guy or girl on TV might say I want $1,500 and I want my half deposit up front, $750. So if somebody carnies the fuck out, you got your $750 and you didn't have to perform, and that's just the cost of doing business. If you're fucking Mr. Local who works 3 indies within 100 miles of each other and that's all you do,
and maybe you got it like that where you can say I want my deposit, but you can't when a show gets canceled go I want to get paid, especially 5 weeks out. Maybe this day or two before, like I could charge this guy because when I told him what my get, I go, bro, I'll promote you on Russo, I'll promote you on our shit, I'll cut the promo. I could still. I doubt I'd see a dime of it, but I could send him an invoice for half to be like, bro, I held up my fucking end and I delivered the goods. You fucked that up. So maybe, but I don't even want to deal with the headache of it for $100 fucking dollars. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and plus look who you're dealing with, somebody who's proven themselves unworthy of even being in this business, let alone to try and get a dime out of them. But those indie guys are, if that should be the lesson of, if you're really that over, then you got to get your deposit. So if this shit happens, you do. But 5 weeks out, somebody canceling a show, that goes to show me that those indie guys are just as stupid and clueless, and they think they're fucking over. They have no idea how to hustle or what this shit is, and that their view of themselves is way up here, and they don't know. And in 5 weeks, if you can't get another booking in that 5 weeks window, then you're a fucking terrible.
Well, I guess maybe, hey, as you said, he's working it. And these guys are kind of in that in between. They got a great act. It's a great traveling novelty thing that they've got going on. They do hit a couple states here in the area. But hey, I mean, what's it hurt to try it though? I mean, maybe you get the guy to bite on it and send you over.
Chances are, though, he's a fucking shitbag at the end of the day, too. And like all promoters have to be. You have to have some of that in you to be successful. But the reality is, if you're working an indie show like that, if you have a $3,500 to $4,500 budget, you spend it on one name, you take the other $1,500, split it up between X amount of guys for whatever it is, from $40 to $100 workers, and you make your 6-7 matches. And the one guy who gets paid $2,000 to come in and draw the house puts over your top guy, so you can make that guy look like he hangs with WWE guys. It's not that hard of a fucking equation, but it's hard when you're a mark for yourself and you think that you're going to have WWE 1999 all over again. And look at me, I'm the fucking one who made all this happen. You're in it for the wrong reasons, bro. You're not in it to make money. You don't know how to make money. You're probably not running your own concessions. You probably don't have all the little promoter tricks down and wired to make sure that you're coming out in the black, instead of just being self-egregious to pat yourself on the back. So, and the boys get fucked over at the end of the day. So to answer your first question, when should you cancel, how far out? I think if some shit's going down, a week is enough time. But if you see big things happening like COVID lockdown or whatever, then you just got to scrap the show, which happened to the 2CW reunion twice. But that's almost the problem with 2CW going out of business, because Josh is a master promoter. It knows how to get guys over, knows how to make a fan experience, knows how to get every dime out of it that he can, and make the shows incredible. But that he was running everywhere in New York, kind of from Albany, except for down by Long Island and New York City. The rest of New York was 2CW country, and there were no little shitty shindies, because Josh would come in and stomp them the fuck out if they tried to run. And once 2CW died, it was all these little, like, well, it was one big shark and now it's dead, and everyone comes in to pick the bones. Now there's 6-7 little shit shindies. Immortal does things as much as we can the right way off of a 2CW model and 2CW fan base. There's 2 others that are a joke, and then Midwest or Western New York got chopped up into 4 indies. There's 2 on the other side of Albany now. So unless you have a company like 2CW that's willing to come back over and go, Josh would wait and see if a shindy's running there, then he would run the same day at that same, like in a town 10 minutes away. And that shindy would fold, because they know they can't hang with what Josh is about to bring in. So that was a blessing of having 2CW that strong, because no one dares step up because they get their throats cut.
Well, now that you've kind of got the little boroughs have reemerged and it's cut up differently, what's the vibe there in the whole region with 2CW coming back? I mean, are people are they shitting their pants, or is it?
Yeah, it's an unsung silent, like, and I like Mike King. He was a 2CW fan turned promoter, and before him it was Chris Envy, who ran Dynasty. Same, like after 2CW went away. Dynasty kind of took over that central New York, and I'm here along with other guys, Ref Sideburns, and the boys from Binghamton and Rochester, and we could take that 2CW squad because our audience is so in condition because Josh helped us get us over and make Dynasty into something. Dynasty with whatever management, he moves to North Carolina, and Mike King starts Immortal. And Immortal does the same thing. Dynasty and Immortal kind of one and the same because Mike King was working with MV, learning the business. But now Mike knows enough that, hey, bro, I don't know shit about finishes and doing business. Hamin, here's the card. You book everything to do whatever. So
it's essentially what I do with Beast. It's just
yeah, exactly. And that's a smart move. Why try and take that on when you've got? Why not use your soldiers and commanders the right way? You know what I mean? To get things done because. And no offense to Mike, but when I'm agenting something with Brute Van Slyke and Rich Holiday, Mike King isn't going to be able to talk to them on a worker level and understand the fine tunings of should I do a low blow here and why that's not important and fucking the finish is this and the business is that. And workers aren't really going to respect a guy who hasn't been in there and done that. So that's just what I'm happy to do in addition to my on-camera duties. And like I said, that's kind of where I shine more is helping to develop talent and give them that moment. And then they run with it. So it's working, right now we have that respect, but it's still not what 2CW was, but it's even if you get 20-30% of what 2CW was, it's still worth your ticket, so that's what's going on. But then there's other people who want to play wrestling and have no idea and are ruining the territory, and they'll be gone month one if 2CW comes back full time.
Now, we've heard the stories. I've seen the footage online, and that you guys were absolutely crushing it, rocking and rolling there. Now just in a short time frame, a couple of years here, I mean, the wrestling scene has changed so much. You said there's all these different promotions. Are you guys feeling confident you're going to be able to go back and draw those same houses, or is it like a rebuilding process?
2CW be sold out for I don't know if they're coming back full time or if this is just going to be the 5-year anniversary of the closing. But once you set the bait out there, you know what I mean? Everyone's going to be clamoring for it. And there wouldn't be a Sami Callihan, a Young Bucks, so many different other guys. If it wasn't for 2CW, that's how shit gets over. And I just think that, everybody who wants it back will push for it, and they all will. And once they see what they've been missing, it's going to be, you can't compare the two, like who else is having Sammy and Eddie in their main event? Like that's an Impact main event, but at 2CW, and it'll be even more well received because those guys are 2CW originals. So
what's the budget for something like that? Because you guys are going back to back, right? A 2-night show.
Yeah, but Josh has got it like that, and he will lose money to FU to people. Like when we did the iFree for views, when Ring of Honor was trying to do pay-per-views and botched 5 times in a row, Josh will spend the money just to go, fuck you, this is how you do it. And that was before Fight TV and everything else. Plus the other thing that you want to talk about, and I'm glad you got Beast and your team is strong. There's no stronger office I've ever seen than 2CW. Strangler Steve King. Jack Trades running ring crew and doing everything with the fans. Myself as a brain trust. You had plenty of guys who were the drivers to go make sure top talent's handled and taken care of. Kevin the Man Graham, and there's a bunch of people that I'm leaving out here. Chris Lovins, who would deal with all the ticket sales and shit like that. Guys you can trust to go and make that part of the shit happen while Josh has to deal with all of it, So that's a team, and it Immortal. It's like Mike King, myself, and his sons, and a couple other people. But like when you've got top level workers who are in your office, that makes all the difference in the world too, bro. And that rarely ever happens in the indies of having guys at that level. So it's not, I say Josh, but when I say Josh, Josh is like Voltron made up of 6 other people, trying to make sure things are a huge fan, awesome experience where it's that ECW original. Wow, I can't believe this is happening right now.
You'd mentioned in there that your talent handlers, people are taking care of them when they get into town. What are some tips For someone to be successful in that role, what do some of those talents expect? I mean, how do you set it off for their, you know what, this was a great experience. They really took care of us. We want to make sure that we're going back to work for these promotions. For example, when Rad Rob picks you up at the airport here in Cincinnati, what are some of those expectations? How can he help you out? Or if he's dealing with the Shane Taylor for us, but
sure.
Just a little bit of what goes into that and, what can make someone successful in that position.
Be on time, be early, make sure they get the flights that they want to. Wrestlers want to get in and get out, especially if they got another gig or something else going on. It's not a slight on the promotion that they don't want to hang out. It's our job. We don't want to be, not that I don't want to hang out with you and Beast, but I got something the next day. But I'll tell you, somebody I do want to hang out with all the time is
here we go.
Somebody much wonderful than the rest of us. It is the lovely, the ever talented Goldilocks joining us this morning. How are you, dear?
I can't believe you get up this early.
Yeah, there isn't much sleep for me these days. It's 1:30 till 1:30 in the morning, back up at 7 doing social media, getting ready to do shows. But we'll
Are you serious, Ben?
Yeah, 6-7 days a week. I got home from the Immortal show. I was doing graphics till 1:30 in the morning for Realm Network to get them to Jonathan to get back up the next day and start over again.
You're one of the people that I literally think about, not at night in a creepy way. Don't tell your lady that. I think about I have to do, because people will say, "Oh, you do so much, Goldie," and I'm like, I know other people like Ben Hamin. You do so much, and it's like if I could just get better with my time management. I can save people money all day, but my time management and not falling down the rabbit holes when I go to promote and not looking at all these but that TikTok is I got to get off that. I got to promote and just get off. It's like a train wreck network of just train wrecks.
And it's ever changing. I appreciate those kind words. And I get to the point where and I've been past this point for the last month. I'm burnt, dude. But then I just stop and go, shut the fuck up, man. You get to edit the beautiful people's video. You get to talk about wrestling. You get paid to watch shitty wrestling and then talk about it. So, I mean, I just go back to that. And my dad taught me how to work hard so I would appreciate working smart. If you've never been on the side of the road on a DPW truck scraping skunks and woodchucks off the fucking side of the road, whipping them over a bank and then going and shoveling blacktop for 8 hours, believe me, talking about shitty wrestling for 14 hours a day is, I don't want to say godsend as the atheist, but it's definitely a blessing to be able to do that. But mentally we can wear ourselves out, but then I just have to check myself, but it's 6-7 days a week nonstop. And when I need to stop and watch Game of Thrones for 2 hours, I will, just to veg out and close my eyes. But you know what I'm going to be watching tonight?
Oh, wow. Gee, we'll get right to it. Thank you.
Is Call in the Cheapskates on TLC, you guys. And, obviously we want to promote all of everybody's successes of brand member, family members of what's going on. And we're so proud of you. Before pandemics, there's always the pilots that are going down. But tonight is the launch, August 2nd on TLC. Is it 8 p.m.? I don't want to.
It's 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So then that would be, I get all my things.
9 Eastern. Yeah.
So it's 9 Eastern. And there is no news. I don't know your name because I don't know your face. And
I think we've talked before through DMs and things like that on some different projects. But my name is Rick Vickery, and I'm here every Monday with Ben. And hey, I'm just glad that we finally classed the place up a little bit.
It's Rick. Okay, so it is Rick.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's so many different people that I talk to, and it'll answer through. It's Ben Hamin and it's Hamin Media, or
everyone says Hamin, but it's Ben Hamin. I just took my name Benjamin and changed it for Bin Laden and made the J and H, so which is a little Spanish. And then Disco calls me Ben Hamin, thinking that that's going to insult me, but I'm a Paul Heyman mark, so that doesn't hurt my feelings at all. And then it's Hamin,
Okay, that's what I thought. And then people will say something else, and then I'm like, I got it wrong. So I got Hamin right. And then Rick, I want to make sure, I was going to to say. There's so many different people I talk to through the Hamin media group and then they answer. And then I'm like, well, who am I talking to? So I appreciate you.
We all blur together. We're all the same.
No, you're not. You're you. So thank you so much. So yeah, you guys, tonight it's 10 p.m. and that's Central Standard Time. So then I will say it's 9 p.m.
Eastern.
And it's it's an hour. It's all me, probably making a complete ass of myself. I have no idea. That's why it's so exciting, and I want everybody to join. I have no idea how they're going to paint me. And you know what we sign up for in this business. I could be a complete terror and a bitch, or maybe I'm nice or likable, or maybe a little bit of everything, which would be great. So no idea, a little scared. But one of the things that I've been talking to everybody about is don't be afraid to ask for help, no matter what business that you're in, or if it's a relationship problem or a friend is bumming you out or something. Like, don't bombard everybody and vomit your problems, but you can ask for help. And one of the things I just wanted to ask people is, if you're listening to this right now, like, this is a chance for you to help somebody that it's really going to be yay or nay, depending on the engagement post show. So, if you could just get online on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever, and just the @TLC, grab their handle so that you got their attention, and then say something stupid or shoot all over me or call me whatever, and just hashtag calling the cheapskates. And maybe it's just a tweet, or maybe you see something really disgusting and you just snap a shot with your phone on your TV or screen that you're watching on, or whatever. But I wanted to just say thanks to people for watching tonight, and I wanted to thank them for engaging. So it was going to be 100, but like, I've been giving away lunch every day all week and dinners every day for the last couple weeks. And then tonight I'm just going to give away like a couple $100 to the funniest post that I find, and I'll just comb it. And that, maybe this week we'll do some more. Whenever I get money from any paycheck, I just like to figure out a way to like divvy it up so that people get a free meal, or maybe they pay a bill or something, because I know I like that. So that's my plea. If on Instagram, Goldie with a Y, Goldilocks Rocks, or Twitter, you'll see all the contest rules. But just TLC handle and throw in the call in the cheapskates, hashtag, and do something funny. I know there was some people that were on the Realm Network on Russo's brand, a couple of different podcasts that I did, and one of the guys, I think he's gonna like write the hashtag across his very large belly tonight. So,
that'd be great.
It's just funny. Just have fun and know, like, I'm scared shitless, and I'm just very transparent, asking for help with the engagement afterwards. And if you're just sitting around jerking off or doing whatever you do, Monday Night Raw, whatever you're shooting on, shoot on me. Just take 2 seconds and do that. Maybe win $100 or some dinner or something. So.
Awesome. I saw some of the winners from this week posting, and that's just such a great
fun
function. Yeah, just investing in yourself, and we're so proud of you with these opportunities. And any casting director is going to go, this girl's got money written all over, and it's up to Hamin Media Group, Russo brand, because you guys have heard me talking. I'm not trying to down the TLC producers, but a lot of them have their heads up their asses on other channels too. So it's up to us to take our own destiny into our own hands. And we've built this community of great followers. I command you guys tonight, call in the cheapskates. We need not just you, but anybody else in your family who's got a phone and a different handle to use those hashtags and really to help get this trending. So this show can go from a pilot to a full-time gig, and to make sure that Goldilocks is the standout star that we know she is, to keep so they can finally, you got to hit them over the head with it, where they go, well, we thought it was, but look at this engagement. And they think it's organic, but at the same, and it is, but we're all going to work together to support our sister right here tonight. And we're very proud of you. And we want all the success, whether she's doing her LA Times columns, you guys got to follow that brilliant writing, whether she's out coming to your town with her band, being the super rock goddess that she is, putting on shows. Your voice is beautiful. I mean, aside from being, and you guys know her from Impact and TNA too, to cross over, the talent is everywhere, and we're just putting as many lines in the water to catch as big a fish as we can all over, whether it's writing, music, wrestling, creative on TV, creative in her own life, just being that artist that everyone should aspire to be. I'm super proud of you, and I think tonight's going to be a big success. You're going to stand out. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and Rick, thank you for having me on too. This is really important that you all understand this, that, you see Vince, and we all love Vince. We all love Ben. We love Rick. We love everybody at Hamin Media Group. Um, we just talked about earlier, Ben is working his ass off 24/7, putting out content. And some of that content gets a lot of shine and some of it's really good, but like it doesn't necessarily get the views that it deserves. And you see Vince posting, hey, if you've got content and you want to pitch me a show idea, please pitch it to me. Okay, well, Goldie's Closet is on Russo's brand. It is, overseen by Hamin Media Group. It is on the Realm Network. And while we want new things, we still have some things that are really good. And Goldie's Closet's been going for a couple of years. Let's look at what that looks like if all of a sudden there's a ton of more eyeballs from the TLC network and other different platforms all of a sudden on me. They're going to okay, she's cheap. Okay, blah, blah. But oh shit, wrestling or conspiracy theories and that puts more eyes on. And there, you can't have this like lack mentality of, then they won't be looking at me. It's like Prince taught me, you bring people into this circus and you don't know if they're looking at you and your tits, Goldie, or if they're looking at the guitar player's long hair or the drummer's mohawk or the background dancer's butts and asses, or you don't care as long as they come and they support. And we want to drive more and more traffic to Vince Russo's brand, to Hamin Media Group, so that there's just more to support what's already there, and we bring in some more. But I combed some of the other reality stars from TLC's personal pages. Now, some of them, like Dr. Pimple Popper, it is all show, which I get. She's like, really up there, and I'm sure she's got a private one. But I looked at most of the other shows, and the reality stars on there are just posting whatever they want. And, that's fine. I like that because I'd like to be in the middle there somewhere where they're kind of monitoring and it's quality stuff. But I put over last night on a couple of different, I did one that was like 100,000 people that were watching live. And all I did is say, hey, this is really good for Russo's brand. You need to check out Goldie's Closet. And I did mention the Los Angeles Times. Stay in your tribes and in your groups, give back, propagate, do the giveaways, do everything that you can. But I am very excited about tonight because if it means 10 more, 100 more, 50 more, whatever more eyes on what we're doing at the brand, I really love the brand and I really love the people that are part of the brand. Like there are solid, good mother truckers, and I want good things for us and good quality entertainment. So this is a vehicle to do this. It's really not about me. It's about all the other things that I'm attached to, the band, better gigs, better opening slots, more paint. It's like I want to use this as a vehicle to help everybody. And I am not talking out my ass on that. That to be sincere.
No, that's 100% true. And everything you provide entertainment wise in every genre is valued and could be the breakout thing. And even this, I mean, I want Calling the Cheapskates to be a big hit as well with you featured, but that can also be opening the door. And with what the work we do tonight, okay, maybe I'm not trying to jinx Calling in the Cheapskates, but they go, wow, Goldie has a following. Let's develop something around her. And she comes through on camera. She's got the personality. All that's easy. And she's got the following that's interactive, which is almost more valuable than anything else. So that's what's super important for all of us as supporters and co-hosts to really push tonight. You guys were, as a call to action, we need that. We want that. And I know you guys will deliver it because of how diehard you are for Hamin Media Group and Russo brand. So, and once one of us levels up, the spotlight's going to be a little bit brighter on all of us. That's just a nice extra added bonus.
And Rick, what can we do to promote you guys real quick before I bounce off? I know you got to get back to your show.
I was going to say, maybe, as I'm kind of going through some of the articles here of what you got going on for the show, without giving away too many spoilers, can you let people maybe a little insight of what they're expecting to see tonight?
That's what's so exciting, Rick, is I really have no idea what they're going to use. I don't, I cut so many freaking promos where I could see producers. Literally when we did this show, it was from the UK. So there was iPads on like lighting stands clamped with like the faces of different producers. And, we had a couple field producers in, on set because some of the stuff was really small. And I'll just say, like, there was a lot of stuff that we did that was very dirty and it stunk really bad. Like, and the faces of, like the family that I went to go in and help, like they legitimate, like a lot of the stuff you're going to see tonight is a legit shoot, you know, because reality TV is scripted, but some of this stuff is just really literally shit I pulled out of my ass. And because I'm like, because I don't care. I love, you know, once you go out in front of 40,000 people and get booed, you know, in wrestling and one of those arenas and just have people hate you and spit on you, like, you know what it's like being a heel, Ben. It's like, it's kind of fun. So there was some really dirty, smelly things where even I was like, you're really crossing the line. Like, I wonder if your dad's going to watch this. Like, well, he'll get it. So some things like I hope they included that really stink. And then the producer that I was working with, Matt, is absolutely brilliant. Like, I want this to work so badly because the company that I worked with, the production company in the UK, is just like, they're salt of the earth. They're so not American. Cool. They're kind. They actually like respond to your emails with more than one word, like received, or you know what I mean? It's just like, I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, they're really, really good and got my sense of humor and let me be me and push the envelope with scripted television in a way I've never seen before on reality TV, where I'm like, can we film that this way? Like, isn't it giving away something? Or they're like, no, we want it to like drop the curtain down a little bit and like just some really dumb stuff where I'm like, well, you're going to blur that out, right? Or you're going to beep that. And they're like, oh no, that's you. That's what you'd say, isn't it? What you say that? I'm like, well, I would, but it's like national television. And they're like, oh, we'll work around it. It's very authentic. Go ahead, mate. You know, so yeah, lots of weird things. And, you know, urine can be used for lots of different things. And
it's going to be, if you like the gross out stuff, tonight's tonight, you guys.
I actually remember when they had some of these clips leak online and there were some people commenting. I think it was over on Twitter that I saw this thread and they were like, is she really like that? What's going on here?
But you know what, guys? We were in pro wrestling and we're in rock and roll. Like, you don't think that we've all just like shit our pants and grabbed something to wipe with, or there's a reason why they call it on the rag. I didn't come up with that phrase. I didn't coin that. You know, women back in the pioneer days didn't have Tampax to plug it up. You know, they just grabbed whatever they had. And I have been so angry at previous bandmates at how disgusting they were. I remember, please put a lid on that. This is our brand new $55,000, Mercedes Sprinter. Please put a lid on that dip. Please don't be dipping in the vehicle. And the floor, when I first got it, before you get it, cased, it's like a pressed cardboard. And this mother trucker, like, literally had like one of these gimmicks, filled with dip, and it spilled on my, dude, I don't want that shit all over.
I know.
Dude, I was so mad that I lost it. And I just I had a skirt on. I pulled my drawers aside. I had a tampon in. I pulled it out. And it was one of those, there's different kinds of tampons. There's ones that expand vertically. There's one that's like a cup and it goes, and it's like this big, thing that opens up and collects. Well, I had one of those on. And I just remember I just pulled that sucker out. It was ripe and ready to go. And I just chucked it at his face and it just went like that. And he was just like, oh my. And I'm like, yeah, you'll think twice before you go. You know what I'm saying? You'll think twice.
I hope I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, you'll think twice before you ever go into somebody's new $55,000 Mercedes-Benz bus and decide to leave a big, it could have been urine. It could have been who knows what. People are gross on the road. So yeah, that's one of my finer moments, but he'll remember and he won't do it. And if he does it again, boy.
Oof.
There you go, boys.
Chew spit versus the tampon thrower. That is an episode under itself right there. Oh, man. And, as beautiful as she is, as nasty as you want to be. That's how.
We'll leave it at that, you guys. Get to your business. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, we love you and we're proud of you and congratulations. And we hope tonight's a huge, huge success and starts a whole new pathway for you.
Can we get one more plug on it?
Yeah, please go ahead.
I was going to say, just let everybody know again where they can get with you. It's going to be on TLC, right? Call in the Cheapskates, 10 o'clock Central. So make sure you're checking your local listings, right?
Or they said you were choking. I was like, no, don't
Choking. Yeah, you're choking your local listeners.
No choking the chicken during this episode. Put if you want, if that's what you're
I was going to say, after this interview, shut down the show this week. We're not getting any better than that.
What if everybody did a big, oh my God. What if that was the shot? It's just
Everyone's
everybody.
their chicken. Yeah. Well, use all the hashtags, you guys. Make sure you tag Goldilocks Rocks. Give her a follow on all the social medias, Instagram, Twitter, where we're going to be most interactive during the live watch along, TikTok as well. That's what we're asking for tonight. And I know she's going to kill it, man. There's just there's no denying her. Once she comes through the camera and you see her, she's going to outshine everybody like she always does, man. So we're
too kind. Yeah. You guys, let's do a good job tonight, though. Literally, I want to bring eyes to as many of the great people that
and you can win cash. She's doing cash giveaways. Who doesn't want to be a part of that, you guys?
Me. I'd like to win. Have a great day, you guys. Thank you for everything.
Absolutely. All of our love from Hamin Media Group to Goldilocks.
Bye, you guys. Love you.
There it is, guys. She rocks. I mean, check her out. LA Times. Great relationship advice. Everything, just making it through. She started as a starving artist herself, living in her car, man. And now she's a rock goddess, a writer, co-host, and now on TLC. We talked about leveling up earlier. There's a woman that you should model yourself after when it comes to street hustle, street knowledge, man. Very, very honored to have her as a Hamin Media Group client, as well as, a Realm Network, Russo's brand partner as well, man. So please definitely support her tonight. It's super important.
How about that for a run-in?
It doesn't get any prettier than that. You feeling under the weather and my big ugly ass talking about independent wrestling bullshit.
I was going to say, what the hell were we even talking about? I don't even remember.
Sunshine. That's a ray of sunshine right there. Whenever you get to talk to her, she inspires me, especially she's got like a sixth sense too. Like I'll be at the end of my gas tank. I'm working on something and a text will come through and Goldie be like, dude, you're kicking ass. Like, I don't know how you do it. And and that makes me go, there's 15% more energy level up right there. If Goldie's seeing it, then I'm going to keep pushing everything forward, man. And my drive, your drive, everybody's at Hamin Media inspires her. So it's just such a great synergy as we push each other's stuff forward, man. And she's got a big opportunity. Chances of somebody putting this ugly ass face on TV is much less than that beauty right there. But she's not just all, wrapping paper. There's a lot of depth there and a lot of caring and emotion, and she's a great human being. So I'm super proud of her, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. She had mentioned TikTok in there. She's got that addiction, TikTok.
I haven't started because I saw what it was when it started, but now I know there's a lot of marketing value in there. So unfortunately, I feel like I'm going to have to fucking start looking more into that. But when you're trying to promote your pilot, and that's where the cool kids are right now, I mean, check her out on TikTok as well, man. Or tape something from the show and have your reaction to it of what it's going to be. Like, that's what we're looking for, is fan reactions with the show tagged, with TLC tagged, with whatever you want to add in there for yourself to get a shine, man. And I think she gave out like $500 in free lunches this week for promotions.
Wow.
Kicking ass, man.
Hey, she's backing it up, putting her money where it's at there.
Bets on herself, bro. And there's no better bet than that.
Absolutely. Well, on that TikTok, as you said, Hamin, you're looking at getting signed up for it, starting to figure out what's going on there. I actually myself, the RBV, I signed up for it this past week. Well, it's if you heard about this here, I know Big Ray was talking about it last week with the vet. WWE on TikTok, they are having a ring announcer contest where you can actually win an opportunity for all expenses paid and to call a match at SummerSlam.
Why not? Even if they put you in a pre-roll, in like either of you guys could win it. You've both got marvelous sexual chocolate voices, in my opinion.
Here's how it works as well. You got three options. You got The Undertaker, Edge, or John Cena. And it gives you an entrance, and it kind of gives you the teleprompt with the weight, where they're from, where to cue the name and all that. Ryback has been entering into this thing. I guess he's recorded a few of them, and he's got his name in the hat. That's
funny, bro. Good for him. And it's a big shout out because on 9/18, September 18th, is the next Immortal show. Ryback announced as the top name, and he doesn't work many indie shows at all. So it'll be good to be back with Big Back, man, to have him in the locker room again.
Really? Wow. Okay. Small world then. All comes back around. Yeah, I saw that.
You know that I helped. Sorry, you know that I helped create the Man Beast, Adam Revolver, Twinkle Toes, and myself, along with Ryback, helped to create that gimmick. I don't know if a lot of people
I've heard you talk about working with him in the past, but I didn't know it was to that depth.
Well, he was signed with WWE, massive, and then he got cut, and he's at OVW, and he was Silverback Ryan Reeves. So he took Silverback and his real name Ryan and made Ryback. But what is Ryback? And we had all these Derby City Wrestling guys who no one's the size of Ryback, so we'll start there. But it's not like we had Damian Sandow. Well, we did have him in DCW, but we didn't have massive guys. So here we have this giant and then average dudes trying to get over. So we turned him into a Terminator, and we put Fang with him, and he was like the little kid that with it, and we would shoot it, and we would do the post effects to make it look like a Terminator vision. And that was his first thing, where lights down, lights up. He'd be standing there, give somebody the goozle, and one and done. It's Ryback, and da-da-da. And then that evolved into, him being himself more in WWE. But to be there at the inception and the foundation, because before that, he used to wear furry trunks that were like a silverback gorilla. That was his gimmick. So you can go back on Ben Hamin channel and look at the early feuds between him and it was Anthony Bravado. His real name's Blair Moan. He's a super heavyweight weightlifter. He's been on the cover of Muscle and Fitness half a dozen times. So those were the two monsters that we had. So we put them together, and people were pumped for it. It's actually probably the most viewed video by gay men on my YouTube channel, because I always look at these two muscle hunks and all these little fucking things. So that put it over. So if you're into massive muscle fighting each other, Ryback versus Anthony Bravado on Ben Hamin YouTube channel, some good stuff, old school, and I'll always have a place, in my heart for Ryback. Plus he's been smashed by the establishment. I don't know why Twitter took his blue check mark away, but I plan on cutting a funny promo on that on him on the 18th. But the guy has got money written all over him, and because he stands up for what he believes in, he's been ostracized to some degree in this business when there's millions of dollars written on him. And it doesn't matter whatever he's got going on pre-workout, nutrition wise. It's always good to follow him and do what he's doing, man. Smart guy too. A lot of people again would say, hey, there's just a big muscle-headed dummy. No, this guy's a nutrition master. He knows inside and out of business. He knows a lot about science as well, man. A very intelligent guy that gets marginalized based on what people's first impression of looks are on him. So I'm excited for him.
Now, you guys spend all this time, and he finds a direction with the Ryback character instead of just being the Silverback. Did he ever share the story with you, or maybe you were still talking with this time? He gets moved from OVW down to, what was it, FCW?
Yeah,
and then they say, hey man, we're gonna make you a cowboy named Skip Sheffield.
What did I say? Everything is a test, right? Everything's a fucking test. And that's what they'll do. They might not see, they see that the Ryback is a character that could draw money, but then when they come back, they go, this guy's been under contract before and he's doing it and whatever, and comes back. What will they do? They want Nexus or what have you. And he's a big hoss cowboy. Who knows whose idea that was? And we'll find out hopefully as we get closer and have him on the show here, maybe to talk about it. But everything's a test when it was FCW to give you these weird gay porn names and kill whatever. I mean, look at even Rick Victor. At least he kept his name. But when he left OVW, bro, he was the next Undertaker. The guy can work. He's the last one out of the Heart Dungeon. Phenomenal worker. He's into all of the what's the one rock and roll fucking dude who is like the dart. He does movies and shit. He's got the monster.
Rob Zombie,
right? He was like a walking Rob Zombie in wrestling. Bad as fuck. Him and Lilas tagged together. They were cool men who are like badass, like in the sea of boys, you know what I mean? And then he gets hired, sent down there. What's the first thing they make him do? Shave his face, cut his hair, da-da-da. Flounders as Rick Victor, gay porn star, babyface #1. And then fucking they go, you know what? You should grow a goatee and grow your hair longer. That might work. Oh, no shit. No shit. You mean what I've been doing for the last 10 years, knowing where my money is? And then the ascension starts off of that when they're back to it again, right? But it's these tests for 2 years where it's either them seeing how you're going to react to that, or it's people within WWE's developmental system who have no idea how to get somebody over or make a character. You know, forgive me, like, there's a reason why Skinner and Johnny Ace never got over as characters. Okay. So and those are the guys that you have. At least a Norman Smiley can get himself over. You know what I mean? Even a Bill DeMott got himself over. But like the guys who were in charge obviously didn't have a fucking clue what was going on. That's why FCW is not here anymore. So people can put those guys over. The other days, they're legends and they're in the office, but I watched them ruin more properties that had to reinvent themselves again from the ground up than coming in with a Ryback established gimmick that'll draw money, a Rick Victor, or as I call him, Apocalypse, APOC, that would have drawn money. And even I remember when he had his tryout, he said Undertaker was watching him like out of the corner of his eye with like his hand on his chin or his cheek, just sitting there watching, knowing that this could be the guy I could pass the torch to. But then he's not even somebody's kid. So when you see a Bray Wyatt and they still don't pass the torch to him.
I was going to use that as that was going to kind of be our transition. The big news that you guys didn't get to cover on the Friday locker room yet.
What was Bray Wyatt in FCW?
Husky Harris, correct.
They're fucking morons, bro. And Bray Wyatt, such a brilliant performer, he takes that, puts that into the Fiend and Bray Wyatt, Mr. Rogers thing as a third character to rib how bad that was and gets it back over, knowing that our backstory has plenty of nice little details if we're smart enough to work them into the front story, man. That guy fucking not only absolutely get it, is on a level far above anybody in the office. And they're so under him that they can't even get his shit over. And now after this week's massive news.
Well, say what to say, we're getting some, news coming out of this thing that, a lot of the talents believe this had nothing to do with the budget cuts. It was really just ultimately the frustration between the two. But this, I guess this one really hits home for a lot of these talents as they feel like there absolutely is nobody safe at this point inside that company from just one day getting your walking papers.
Like, okay, you give Nick Khan the fucking stamp to cut and fucking, trim the fat so we can do whatever. This guy isn't the fat to be trimmed. This guy is giving you 3 $20 million paydays, and you've cashed in maybe $1.5 million out of that 60 million. Who's at fault? Bray Wyatt? Fuck no. The management who keeps putting ignorant people in these positions to trim it back because it doesn't make sense to them on a ledger, when somebody should be going to bat going, this is the guy. I understand that you're a 75-year-old lunatic, fucking narcissist, megalomaniac, but understand this level of creative is where we should be setting a standard for everybody else. Instead, it's, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And fucking, he's just marginalized once again. Go back and look at the earliest Bray Wyatt stuff in the Firefly Funhouse with Anunnaki, so much conspiracy theory, high level, even with colors and symbolism. By 10 weeks in from that point, they'd stripped all that out of that because nobody knows shit. Meanwhile, he's watching Ancient Alien Theory. He's watching Graham Hancock. He's watching all that and taking it and playing to the height of his intelligence. And when he does that, the audience's level of intelligence will come up, especially if they see something they don't know, because what are they going to do when they hear Anunnaki? They're going to fucking go on their phone and look it up and then go, wow, this guy's playing on a different level altogether. Nope. Take it off him. Put it on sexy little Alexa Bliss. And you know what? Give her a doll too. That's going to do it. And then cut that guy because that shit wasn't going to work anyway. Dude, who needs to be cut? Anybody who was in those fucking meetings who didn't put him over and go to bat for him 100%, bro. There's a complete buffer of ignorance and retardation of agents and yes men who never got over themselves, who've never been on camera to fucking do a character or understand what goes into it, who have no idea how to properly work a crowd. But for some reason, they're given these positions as the gatekeepers of who gets to fucking have carte blanche to get their stuff over and who doesn't. Those are the people who need the bullet in the back of the head, not fucking Bray Wyatt and his brilliance. But instead, we do that. And then what does your audience feel about that?
Oh, I mean, I think this is going to be one they're going to catch a lot of backlash on because of just the mistreatment of the potential as you laid out there. Every turn that they have seemed to sabotage what could have been brilliance. That again, printing your own money here.
Exactly. And once you have that with stockholders, people are going, dude, you are fucking costing money for what purpose? Now, maybe not for personal reasons as much in this one, but there's 6, 7 other ones I can give you in the last year where they left millions of dollars on the table to teach a lesson. Killer Cross right out of the gate. to teach a lesson. You didn't do 6 weeks of post-apocalyptic promos introducing him and having his super sexy woman bring him out, or even be the siren song that says he's coming, where she can come out and sing his theme music and he never has to enter. Like, all that was taken away to teach a lesson, bro. Who is anybody backstage there to be teaching anybody lessons? Who? I love you. Is that going to get back over again? Nope. But hey, this guy slipped up this much and now we got him by the balls. So let's forget about our audience and what they want and making a good show and making a captivating show. And Jeff Hardy, we'll see if he'll do a heel finish after losing for 2 years to go over on this guy. If he does it without complaining or saying why, then maybe we'll push Jeff again. That, like, all of that is what they're focused on, instead of going, we have a ready-made fucking franchise movie here and we're going to kill it with this. No, it's about testing people. Anybody who's in that camp, right to the back of the head, bro. That's what they deserve in this business.
And I think, the conversation, especially that we've had over here the last couple of weeks, covering these different cuts, these mindsets backstage, these booking decisions, as I start to look elsewhere now, it just blows my mind, the perception of people just don't understand the petty politics. It was a story that I had read from one of the Sheet sites, and their podcasts, and they had this big speculation. Oh, this is a master plan for Cross, that he has to have Scarlett come back, and that's what elevates him once again. It's like, know the reality of the situation. It's none of that.
They don't.
It's just absolute garbage, trash, politic BS that we're dealing with, and that's the reality of it. And I think what's so crazy about it. It's so very real, but it's so absurd that people in the real world, in regular life, just can't grasp that concept that people would actually act like this.
No clue. They have no clue. That's why these fanboy sheet writers from WrestleZone, Wrestle Inc., fucking Raj, and all those fucking guys, they act like they're so inside. They have zero concept of what silent heat is, how it works, how it's carried out, how everything's a test to see how you'll react. And if you no-sell that test, they're going to test you more until you do sell. And then when they have you, then they can set the hook on you and fuck with you even more. It all goes under the radar, where it's like, I think they're testing me, but I'm not sure. Oh, that's a test. I better not sell for that. Oh, he didn't sell. He's not playing our game. Then we're going to get him with it. Like, that's what they spend their time on, instead of worrying about creating a captivating show, getting characters over, and getting payoff on the investment that they've put into these people. It's a sick mafia that no civilian, like you said, you thought you knew, and you've only promoted one show, and now your eyes are wide open, and it trickles down. There's a guy I worked with for years on the indies who sometimes is tough to do business with because he takes it way too seriously and doesn't want to drop belts or what have you. You know what I mean? Phony ass indie belts, because he wants to make an extra $20 at the merch table during doing pictures, as opposed to doing business, trusting that we have his best interest in mind. And then indie promoters who want to be Vince McMahon because of this dumbass shit that they've done in WWE with backstage politics, want to punish that guy by having him do things. And like, I'm like, yeah, that's funny, and it would work to like make him mad. bro, I want to make money and draw fucking tickets. And I want to, no matter what that guy's attitude is, that's for me to deal with, not to be punished in front of the fans who have no clue, to be like, ha ha, with the boys in the office in the back at the Indies. No, he's a draw. He's a monster. You put him against guys that are going to shine the right way and make him look a certain way. Should he be rewarded for being a big grumpy cunt? No. But at the same time, I'm making the best show possible. And if he's a local draw, I'm going to fucking shine him up the right way. That's just putting the show first above ego, above all that other shit. If there's something really wrong in the back, then we handle it a different way, not emulate WWE's ridiculous politics because they set a standard of stupidity. Fuck that, bro. Never me. Never me.
We were talking about, you take the Fiend gimmick, you put it on Bliss. Did you see where Chelsea Green said that she would go back in a heartbeat if they called her and asked her to be Lily?
I think that was smart too. And I know a bunch of people jumped on Chelsea or whatever, but and I think that's a huge opportunity right there, bro. Like, you got Lily and you don't need to replace and swap her out. But when you see Lily through Alexa's eyes, Lily comes to life, and you do Chelsea in a howdy doody, demented kind of way where she's the doll that's come to life, right? That's what I'm thinking of here. So once you do these scenes where Alexa's talking to Lily, which is Chelsea Green, and they're having a back and forth, and it's totally believable, and then you show it from somebody else's point of view, and who's Alexa really talking to?
Well, she'd be talking to Chelsea at that point.
Oh, she'd be talking to the doll. In Alexa's mind, the doll comes to life and it's Chelsea Green. When we see it from a voyeuristic third-party point of view, it's Alexa talking to the actual doll itself, right? And then when they have the match where they have to tag or whatever, we're in Alexa's mind because we set things up the right way. And even if you wanted to do a cinematic thing and Chelsea Green loses and it's not in front of a live crowd and somebody gets the pin on Chelsea Green, 1, 2, 3, and they roll off and you do the camera cut back, they just pin the doll. They didn't pin Chelsea Green.
So it's everything that's Alexa's kind of seeing is she's got that physical being, that real person there, but it's all the doll.
You draw the audience. This is what I mean, playing to the height of your intelligence, and the audience has to come along. It's not the other way around. You know what I mean? You set up these worlds, and when you invest in them and make them believable, the audience will come with you. You can get them to believe anything, and they'll know back and forth. And they love being in on the joke. If you do it the other way and pimp that out, you're done automatic. And they did that kind of this week with Baron Corbin. Even though I liked what they did on SmackDown in the middle with the contract signing, and Corbin comes out, but Cena's out there in the beginning, and then Corbin comes out to ask him for money. Way too fast, because Corbin was doing great work on his own little side promos where you can tell nobody's coaching him and writing it. It's all coming from him and the viral things. And people go, God damn, that's fucking good. That's where we need to go. What do they do week 2 on TV? Pimp it out and put it in a thing with John Cena. And it seems forced. It doesn't seem natural. It seems like this is going to be hot. Let's get it out there. Nope. It's slow build down the backside of the mountain. They pimped out that scene for a quick pop, and you could feel how disingenuous the character was in that scene compared to where we've seen him backstage on his own downfall. Like, that was taking something and shotgunning it way too fast. And now the integrity of that character has been lowered almost by half. And that sucks, because last week when I was putting it over before they did that move, Baron Corbin liked a tweet with what Stevie and I were saying. Not that I'm a tweet mark. Like, actually, I did, because I put out Wu-Tang is for the children, and Young Dirty Bastard, Old Dirty Bastard's kid liked it. So I was pumped about that. But that shows to me there's people behind the scenes who have no idea how to do longevity, who have no idea how to do character integrity, and to put that out there just killed 8 to 10 weeks of business of him going down the backside of the mountain by putting him out there with John Cena. It just pimped it out, and it's wrong. And nobody's stopping and going, no, that's not what we do here. Everyone in the back, yeah, let's get him out there with Cena because he's doing so good. They don't know. They're ignorant, bro. Complete ignorance.
That I didn't get to watch all of SmackDown yet, but I did catch that segment. I don't know. That thing, as you said, it wasn't too bad, but I mean, just the whole mindset behind it. It was typical two-faced Hogan. I mean, why would Cena be in that spot? To
Right.
and
And just
not to overanalyze. We got people that do that, but
yeah, but Corbin's playing his shit real, right? Even though it's phony wrestling, he's playing it very downtrodden and real. Then when you put him out there with ba ba da ba and fucking Cena's going, bro, I didn't even recognize you, and we're doing waka waka shtick jokes. Gone. The reality of the downtrodden is gone. Instantly, they fucking killed it like that because nobody stopped and said no. That's not where they. But then later, when he comes back out in the hope spot to sign the thing, I did pop for that. But it's wrestling phony at that point. We could have done something up top that would have been way better. You know what I mean? As far as maybe Baron Corbin sleeping under the ring or something because he can't afford a hotel room. Like that's way
good. That's good.
2 seconds, I can come up with something like that. Can anybody else over there? I bet they can, but they don't open their mouths to fucking say it and say no.
Oh god, that would be gold, man. Even like before his match, he rolls out from under the ring and he's like putting his alarm clock or whatever away, and he's got
any of that. Or you like if you're gonna do it, Cena comes down and you see the end of a sleeping bag sticking out from under the ring, and Cena stops and looks, and Corbin rolls out and he's all left over. And he's like, oh, man, the show started. And he just walks up the ramp, bro. That's how you do a sight gag like that, not jokes and waka waka, man. They don't get it.
Our other big headline coming out, I didn't catch this one yesterday, but it was all over this morning when I started looking for things to talk about. Adam Cole's contract rumored set to end after SummerSlam. And that he might be on his way out, going over to join the Elite. Thoughts on Cole potentially on the move?
I don't think they'll let him go. He's Shawn Michaels' baby boy. And he's smart enough because he got signed. And here's where Cole's smart. Cole got signed because of the Young Bucks. Cole wasn't really anything but a lower mid-carder in ROH and getting to do some stuff in Japan. It wasn't until he glommed onto the Elite before there was even a fucking AEW, but and getting himself in those videos, as well as Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and who's the other one? Good looking fucking little college kid looking dude. He was in Undisputed. Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Cole, and God damn it. Roderick Strong.
I'd say he's in the Diamond.
None of those guys believable that they get. Well, Bobby Fish can because he's a fucking Muay Thai guy, and now I guess what's the other one? Kyle O'Reilly's been busting his ass in MMA too, so he could fuck somebody up. But when they first got signed, 90% of the guys I went to high school with would whoop the shit out of them. There's no like in a shoot. There's no doubt about it. But these guys glommed onto that Elite stuff, and because of that, WWE signed all of them so they wouldn't go to AEW. So they know how to work it the right way of these guys say they're not watching, but there really are marks for fucking the Bucks before there was that. So we better take these guys before they get to that. All 4 of those guys worked that. And my hat's off to them to get their NXT contracts. You know what I mean? But now, as ingrained as they are to Shawn Michaels, Triple H, fucking young boys, and to be the next clique as they've been trained to, this is Adam Cole being smart going, hey, I can go over there with my girlfriend and be over as fuck unless you want to sign me to a bigger thing. And they will based off of that. And I wouldn't doubt that Shawn's in his ear telling him what to do, how to work them for more money, So,
well, I mean, isn't this a lot of the same probably negotiation that Shawn used back when, hey, I can go over there with Hall and Nash right now, buddy. You make sure hey, don't pay Brett that. You got to pay me. And that's what we really saw play out behind the scenes.
Massive. And I feel the same exact things going on. And I can't fault him. I can't hate on Adam Cole for that, to fucking know what the politics, because they do. if Gargano and Cole can get under the skin of Killer Cross and cause that shit that happened in the last weeks, they've got the skill set and the fucking mentors behind them to work Nick Khan for X amount of money based off of using the fear that he might show up over there and how bad that's going to make WWE look that they couldn't keep Adam Cole, baby, under their fucking umbrella. Cole knows it, and I hope he gets a fat paycheck from it. I mean, like, I always go back and forth. He tells a great story, and then they blow it with some get your shit and stuff after 12 minutes. But the guy cuts a phenomenal promo. He looks as good as Tom Cruise. Why aren't you using him like Tom Cruise?
Now, I had a question here for you. Damn, I spaced on it.
It's all good, man.
Oh, no, I was going to say with recent comments when Vince McMahon was directly asked about AEW, and he said, I really don't see them as competition as I did WCW, but hey, if they need some more talent, maybe I can help them out. Did you see when he made that comment? I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was on a stock call or whatever it was. I just happened to see the clip there of it.
Yeah, I think that's stupid that he even mentions their name. He just put him over and gave him credit and gave the fucking sheet something to talk to, especially when his show is between 1.4 and 1.8, the lowest it's ever been. And AEW's back up to a 1.1, and they've got massive Punk and Daniel Bryan. They're going to go past WWE. And in fact, I would move to Monday night to do it against them, to stick it right in his fucking ass to show, like, you said what? You want to do what? And then the reality is I heard maybe not Stu or not Stooge Report, that WWE was the one sending out fucking messages to Domino's to put heat on AEW after the Nick Gage pizza cutter, and they cut to the Domino's thing to show, look at they don't care about their sponsors at all. Yeah, I almost guarantee they don't care about their sponsors. You know why? Because he's a fucking billionaire too, bro. Sponsorship's nice for TNT, but if you don't need them, then at the end of the day, we'll find somebody else. Not that I'm down for the Nick Gage Jericho, whatever that was, but at the same time, WWE, the chairman's on the call going, they're not competition. Hey, go stooge to Domino's that they did a pizza cutter and put the heat on them. Let's fuck with them. Well, if they're not competition, why are you fucking with them? Why are you scared and have to?
Is Vince actually selling for the question and acknowledging AEW? Is that actual right now? He is worried about them. He is looking over there that he's talking about them out loud now.
I would say if it's all about how you pose it. If you put the wrestling versus WWE and the storytelling, doesn't even come close. AEW doesn't. AEW couldn't pull off that what they did on SmackDown in the middle with the run-ins and fucking Cena signing it and having that level of pop. That was really good TV. That was really good TV, even though I didn't like the up top with Corbin to set it up. It paid off, right? AEW can't come close to that. Their performers aren't at that level to get character over, to have guys, to build single stars enough to make that stakes mean something. They've got all the puzzle pieces, but they don't know how to snap them together the right way, And
how long until they get that? Because you look at who they've signed. You got the people backstage. You got to be able to. Big Show can help here. That Mark Henry can help. That Chavo, that JR. Why aren't these the people putting that puzzle together for you?
You only need one of those guys. So they've got 4, 5, 6, 7. Arn Anderson, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah, we can go down the list of agents that they've got back there. Tully, Jerry Lynn, whoever the case might be here. Malenko.
And we still can't get to that point. What does that tell you? That you've got more ignorant people at the very top who don't know what they're doing, and they've surrounded themselves with a brain trust of masters, and they still don't listen to them. They don't go to them humbled. They don't do any of that shit and go, how do we get this over from this, that, or the other? They're obviously not listening. And I bet those guys, they're all old super carny workers. I bet they tried up top and then they fucked up their ideas, and the guys are just like, okay, I'll earn a paycheck and I'll sit here and fucking do it. Thank you. No, best idea ever, bro. You're killing it with that. That's it. Hey, that's exactly how I would have done it too. Oh, bro, I'm on the same page as Arn Anderson. Like that, these old carnies aren't going to fuck up their paycheck to be passionate about the business like somebody at my level is, or you know what I mean? They're just there clocking it, bro. And Serena cut a hell of a promo. If you haven't checked it out on Instagram, while she's in a wheelchair with her knee in a big brace, on that exact same thing. She goes, these girls say, why aren't we getting better? Because the first thing they do is come back and get on their phone to check the internet to see, did fans like their match? What's the first thing Serena does? She goes to fucking Dean Malenko. She goes to Arn. She go, what can I do better? What did I miss? Da, 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 da. That's the difference, bro, in being a millennial fuckwad who's more into their own little fucking vanity metrics and shine than actually forwarding the art and making a legacy and using the knowledge of the masters and getting their feedback right away. That's absolutely, they think they're over. And as Rip would say, you think you're over, you ain't over. So
over in the chat here, we got Jay Creed saying, hey, Khan is Booker of the Year. He doesn't need help. Even to me, when they gave him that award, he should have declined that. Said, hey, that's not on me.
Award from who? From
I know, but just to get that perception there, because it is with him. It's me. It's I did this. It drives me freaking crazy inside of that. Like, even where I'm at on my such small little piece of land here, like I feel terrible even pitching booking ideas to Beast, because I know they're nowhere near what he's going to come up with.
All you have to do is say, if this is the business, how can we turn it up? And ask Beast, because what you're getting there is a master's level education. And if you can humble yourself and say, what are the options to do best business here, and let him explain it to you, dude, your mind's just going to expand fucking, exponentially.
Here's something as simple as Rick, we're still young. Don't even talk to me about DQ finishes until we have 8 to 10 shows in.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. And for you,
and as he starts explaining it, it's like, how can you not see this, watching this, but it never occurred to me.
Yeah. Well, and Khan's under the same thing, but he doesn't want to listen to you've just got Man Beast and a couple others, myself. Imagine if you had the circle that we just explained. Why would you even want to book anything yourself? I'd want to go, that was I'd be kicking back and just loving it just myself. Dude, Russo did a Better Call Khan yesterday. In a 2-paragraph answer to a question, he said I 19 times. That goes to show you that this kid has been in therapy since he was probably 6 years old, that psychologists have all made it about I, me, myself, like they do, that daddy didn't love him while he was making his millions, and that everything is a proving ground to say to Horowitz himself, bro. The psychological bleed through of fucking the ADD whatever pilled up era that they put, Lexapro era that they made these kids under is incredible. There's such a disconnect from Generation X to Generation Useless that it's fucking laughable. And it turns my stomach that he has a brain trust of veterans like that. And we really don't have one person on AEW that's a singles that they've gotten over. Bat phone, baby. He just doesn't know, and he's not going to the people that do know and saying, please help me understand this. It always comes out as my idea, I did that. But when things shit the bed, like fucking fireworks and all that kind of shit in the exploding death match, where's the I, me, my on that? Where's the mea culpa?
It was I got refunded $10,000. They had to give me my money back.
It's fucked. Like that. That's where the Stooge report that gets to McMahon, he feels like they're not a threat whatsoever because he's got all the pieces. And I wouldn't doubt, based on how carny this shit is, that Mark Henry isn't a double agent, that Big Show isn't a double agent, that all these guys know after seeing how the fucking kids work that they're going right back to Vince and fucking Stooging and what's going on that way. That you don't work for a guy for 20 years and he might have treated you like shit because he's an ignorant fucker too on the Legend show when Randy Orton's making people look like shit for no reason, that they still won't go back because they know where the big money is, where they made it, bro. That's what being a carny ass worker is all about, bro.
I was going to say, everybody's looking for that greener pasture. They want that AEW money, but they know as soon as WWE needs them in 3 to 5 years, they'll be right back on the trail.
Yeah. I mean, and when it comes to Adam Cole, I think he's put himself in a smart position to be a political carny dude to work WWE while guys are getting their contracts cut, for him to do the opposite, bro. You know, I can't hate on him.
Well, man, anything else in the news you wanted to hit on here?
Man, I think that was pretty close to, I mean, the Bray Wyatt thing with everybody going, well, he'd be great in the, dude, to have to be in these groups where we post to show our shows and whatnot, but to see every mark go, he'd be great in the Dark Order. The Dark Order is bro, like, oh,
what in the Dark Order screams Bray Wyatt right now? Just because dark?
Because of Brody.
But they've evolved so far away from that,
and they're nothing. They're a rib. They're a comedy.
I mean, you talk about Waka Waka. I mean, that's exactly what they've become.
Sure, and you've got Eric Redbeard and Bray able to come in and do something. But I'm not trying to put it over. Would they work and would that get in there? Yeah. My point is, I'm tired of seeing every stupid ass internet wrestling mark in a forum acting like they're the fucking genius booker of like, here comes your new Dark Order leader, dude. But that's why they're stupid wrestling fan marks who think that they're fucking over and that they have some great insight. They don't know shit, and that's why they listen to podcasts to hopefully get educated.
I don't know. If I'm Bray Wyatt at this point, I mean, we know the creative genius that's there and the potential. I'd maybe move away from professional wrestling for a little bit and get into film.
Yeah. I mean, here's the other thing. What did we just say about Tony Khan? Has he gotten one singles person over? Can't even get Darby over with Sting to where he should be. So how would you expect Tony to fucking handle Bray Wyatt to get him over as the next level? There's epic failure.
And hell, I don't know if he has his clause in here or, if he can immediately go somewhere, whatever the ins and outs were of the release. But hey, what are we coming up on? Halloween season. Imagine the payday he would get for just showing up and doing spots at haunted houses with his mindset here and then bringing those character in.
Yeah. I mean, he should
go do a weekend here in Cincinnati, right around at the Dent School, at the haunted schoolhouse. What?
I don't think you
$5,000 for a weekend just to come in and do an appearance, like have a little like chamber with a fiend, or 10,000, whatever the case.
$10,000 for one match minimum. That's what he'd
That's
what
I'm saying. Then just to go do a haunted house or something away from that, and then start getting into some film projects or something.
You can find any fat fuck in Ohio and put him in the fiend mask, and people will believe it's him. They don't got to waste your money on that. If you're talking about him doing something, it's like a Sven Gulli or a fucking new horror thing, or he's in he calls Chris McCumber and fucking wants to be put in a new horror film and becomes a star that way, where he's undeniable. Like his ability is so far beyond wrestling to try and pop anybody that way is a waste. He needs to get over to make himself undeniable that wrestling has to come get him and offer him 3 times as much as whatever they were paying him in WWE. And he gets full creative control, full production control. Anybody who tries to fuck with it, I can have you fired instantly. Like that's what I would put in after getting over and really take control of what needs to happen, So, but I don't know about his mental. Got to believe after they, losing Brody Lee, not easy. Having 3 mega ideas crapped on them, never even getting the Cape Fear stuff over the way it should have been. Braun splitting off, like, dude, that's enough to beat you down to be like, I hate this business. I don't want to do it with anybody anymore at all in this shit, bro. How many times has he gone to bat for stuff? And I don't get it. I just don't see where the money is. Well, that's because you're a stupid moron who doesn't know what's going on in 2021.
Absolutely.
Oh man, 4950 strong here. Twitch.tv/Hamin Media. Appreciate anybody subscribing with their Amazon Prime bit cheers. I see from all over the world. We got UK fans here. We had Pierce Austin from Down Under this morning in the chat, man. We're global as it can get right now. Appreciate you guys joining us in Goldilocks as well. Call in the cheapskates tonight on TLC. That's what your guys' homework is. That's what your mission is. As loyal Hamin Media soldiers, we got to support our sister, and we want her to get over, because even if it's some show that opens the door to put the spotlight on her and show these producers that, yeah, she is valued. She has a built-in audience. Goldilocks could have her own show by next year. Forget calling the cheapskates if need be. I mean, I'm not saying forget it. She'd be great on that. But this could be the pebble in the pond that creates the tidal wave 2-3 years from now. And you guys can look back and go, we helped cause that. We believed in her. And that's the call to action for tonight. I commanded, Infidels.
Make sure you take the social media, all forms of social media, hit the hashtags, share, like, hey, and again, if you're out there plugging it, you can get free lunch. She's giving out cash prizes for this thing. So
$100 for lunch. When's the last time you spent $100 on lunch, man?
Well, me regularly.
Yeah, you're doing it real big over there, man. What else you got going on here as we head into August, man? We are 24 days away from the Catalina Wine Mixer beatdown, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, and the Swiss Wine Pro Wrestling Super Show just around the corner. So it's that home stretch. I'm getting with everybody, especially this week, to get promos in so we can get those edited out, get those labeled with our stuff, get the logos on them, get them out there for making the rounds, and finalizing some of the financials and working with the actual festival committee. I want to try, as we talked last week about trying to get involved in other activities going on to help cross promote, to draw people over to the show. So we're seeing where those avenues are going to work. So, hey man, it's always a lot of work.
I don't want to bust your balls on camera or anything like this. And I'm not trying to be like, get it booked because I want to, but flight wise with me, I would get it done today, tomorrow, because bro,
it'll be done.
Price is going to go up on you, and I want to see you make money. I'm not just doing get me there. I don't want you to lose $200 here and $100 there, man, because that can add up quick. I want to see you be successful out of the gate, bro.
I'm not going to pass the buck on this one, but I will get on our travel department to make sure we settle that damn thing.
Not a problem. That's just how things go in there. And like, oh, I got this due today, and one day in flights can be the difference between 200 more or less, you know what I mean? So that's just the fun part of promoting. And I'm sure Rad Rob will be there on time to pick me up, and we'll have a good time, man. The other thing you had asked me, and I went away from that, because Stevie hates travel when he just did show at Wildcat in New Orleans, and it looked like a great success there for them. But that getting the rental car, the flight, dealing with people. Usually wrestlers are going to be grumpy cunts when they get off of doing all that stuff to get there. Knowing where the nearest gym is, especially if Stevie's on your show, where that is some place to get something to eat, where it's not going to be like, oh, I'm all bloated and I feel like shit now. Like, if there's some place that you really want to take them, then maybe after show is the time to do that. But treating your stars, and they're usually humble. They don't want to be like, oh, I'm a superstar. You better.
I had with that on the border. One of the shows, my job was to help out Ricky Morton with that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's asking me about lunch, and he actually drove into the arena. So I met him there and made sure, he knew where to go to get dressed and get set up and anything that he needed. I remember asking me, he's like, let's get something to eat. And I'm laying out, I'm trying to lay out all these, I think, that are going to be like finer eating choices and all this. And I'm going through, this has got like if you want like a salads or whatever, steaks, will go here. I remember just looked at me. He's like, Rick, I just want a fucking Whopper. We're not going to get a value meal.
We're used to Subway on the road, you know what I mean? Getting a steak wrap or something along those lines. So it doesn't need to be the end all be all, but at the same time, some people want to go out and have a great meal. Like, I know when Dave Hero would bring in Mean Gene and stuff like that, he'd really treat him like the legend he is. And that shows class, and that will want guys to come back. It's not just like, this guy's a mark and he fucking will buy me this, that. There's some dudes who I'm there to work, get in, get it out. And then there's other guys that are legends that you got to kind of handle a little more like fine crystal. You know what I mean? And that's a skill unto itself, and having those type of people on your staff like 2CW would. So, or who knows who. I know Mickey and Magnus, so it wouldn't be Kevin the Man Graham, handling them. It might be me. So it's just about the familiarity and using the right people in the right spaces. But I love this discussion today. Didn't like the new breed carnied out and cancel the show, and I lost probably $300. But welcome to professional wrestling, man. Those are the things that make guys like me want to go, I'm done with this shit, bro. Fuck them. But we'll see, man. We'll see if we go back into lockdown, and if 2CW shows happen. If they don't, I can't wait to cut the promo that it was all my responsibility. But appreciate you, man, and appreciate Goldilocks and everybody who joined us here live this morning. Media group on all your social medias, guys. Join us in the discussions, the watch-alongs, the pick'em channels. Great interactive all the way around. Sign up for the Realm brand. It's free to create. We want to start creating obviously subscriptions, but it's free to sign up, and there will be free stuff on the feed. So you guys are going to want to do that and be among the first. And as much as you can help become our advocates to spread the word in the next weeks and months as we add more and more shows, we appreciate that. I mean, for you guys to retweet us or put out your own little message to help get yourself over and show that you're part of the family. I know that makes Vince super happy, makes our social media team feel like what they're doing is very well worth their time. Shout out to Kaz, Plaja, you, Ray, MSG. Big shout out to MSG as well. Everybody fucking, on the social media front behind the HMG. People are asking Conspiracy Horseman coming back. Yeah, on Realm Network. So we've got David Icke in the can. That'll probably get uploaded this week as a premiere episode plus back episodes. And had a little DM yesterday with Janice McAfee about John, so I think she might be joining us soon. I didn't want to be disrespectful, and she's like, no disrespect at all. I just gotta get a couple things in order, but I want to talk to you guys. So more high-level follow-ups, big guests, and we're going to be back on it. But right now, it's about show development. Rad Rob and Drake Wirtz doing big things. He sent me some great drops yesterday. I'm just trying to keep all the balls in the air as we juggle them. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, juggle your balls tonight. Call in the cheapskates and use all the hashtags for TLC, you guys. Anything else, RBV?
Let's kick it out of here.
All right. Appreciate you, man. ProWrestlingTees.com/Ben Hamin, Cameo.com/Ben Hamin, Hacker Hamin on Instagram. Plenty of new stuff up there. $5 face slaps, pictures from this week's Immortal, and just having a good time with it all the way around. Big production week here. So stick with us, guys. Twitch.tv/Hamin Media. Yalla.